Welcome back to the part 2 of the channeling session. Divine Masculine Unghosts and initiates contact with Divine Feminine. This is part 2 and I will start from the vision. So, as I have already narrated in the part 1 that this will apply to, this is about a specific couple, but the energy is being shared and replicated by many people who have gone through on and off situation. And both the Divine Feminine and Masculine are like amazing people since childhood by birth. They have the same shared DNA, but despite being amazing gifted children, they faced abuse, trauma, so the self-image got really distorted. And because of this distorted self-image, they attracted a lot of bad people, people who didn't respect them enough in their life, before coming to a point where they were saying enough is enough and I'm not going to deal with this nonsense anymore. I deserve nothing but true love. And I only want to settle down with the person who is my true partner, my true divine partner. Both of them obviously are on the ascension journey, so they are very authentic individuals, but they were, raised in such a way, or the programming was such, the template they only chose before coming to planet Earth so that they could have a pure source integration, was such that they were constantly told that they're not good enough, they're not good enough, they're not good enough. Obviously, both of them didn't have similar situation. For example, the Divine Masculine had really good parents who gave him a lot of love. Sometimes it was too much love, extra love. They would keep supporting him. But something else happened, like a disease happened, or like an accident happened, or maybe he was bullied in school and college a lot for his looks or for something. Or those type of situations happened where his self-image got distorted. So he started acting out in a narcissistic manner, or his confidence issue got distorted. So, and she obviously had to be on the other side because they have to heal it. And for her, she was constantly told that she's not good enough, she's not nice. So it's an opposite. Like you tell a person that you're too good, you're too good, you're too good. That's also not good. You're too good for the rest of the world, The rest of the people are inferior to you, or you're being told that you're inferior and others are superior. So they are here on the planet to heal the self issue. By healing that self-image issue, they will be healing a lot in the planet. So this particular case will resonate with a lot of other cases where the on and off dynamic played. And I'm being shown that the Divine Feminine, after doing, and this is not the first round of separation or the last round, but it is one of the long phase of separation where she worked on her self-image issues. And for that, she stayed in solitude. She did a lot of deep meditation. She went to therapies. She went for meditation courses. She went for other things like, joining something where her heart is into, or she started a new business, or she completely went into research mode to become a greater version of herself. And after doing all of that, she started attracting people. Now here the lesson is, the lesson is, what I saw in the lesson is that the karmic was there to actually tell her that she is very good. She is attractive. And that clicks a feeling in her that if I'm so attractive, I'm so sexy, and I'm so wanted and desirable, then even my DM should desire me and want me. Something like that. So what I see is that there is this karmic, a very handsome, good looking, also very congenial sort of karmic, whose business or whose work involves him to be congenial. So it's not real congeniality. Like there are some people who are like naturally they are good to talk and they are nice to people and they can strike conversations. But he is the one who knows that it will be good for my business to have a certain kind of crowd, or to have certain type of people, or to strike some kind of deal. He knows that if he communicates in a certain specific manner, speaking sweetly or speaking in this way or that way, he can get work done. So he's that type of a very clever type of a karmic. Now, why the Divine Feminine will meet him is because she'll learn a lot of lessons from him as well. But because she has to put the qualities and the gifts and the skills for good use. So she has to meet people who, despite having good qualities, are probably using it for selfish reasons, or just to make money, or just to get people to sleep with them, things like that. So nevertheless, this person meets her and at some party or at some event, or it's some kind of a somewhere where people are hanging out. Okay, there's music, there is good food, there is good crowd, and she's looking very nice also. She's very well dressed, and any which way she's an attractive woman. So she's there, and this karmic approaches her and they talk to one another, and he's completely like, okay, I have to get this lady, I have to get into her pants, or I have to date her, or I have to flaunt her around, things like that. So he kinds of makes a lot of efforts to get her attention, to get her time, and he picks her up many times, he drops her, he takes her out as I was shown, and he even cooks for her, like he takes her to one of his fancy parties or some event. So now when she goes there, she also sees that he has a lot of women as well, like many good looking women. So he has a sort of harem where there could be even girls who are engaged to someone else. So he's also like a boy toy, but he obviously doesn't want to show that picture to her initially. So he hangs out with her a lot, and it's like he impresses her way too much. And while she was going through that self-image issue, that my divine masculine blocked me out, or he stopped taking my calls, or he just simply started ignoring me, not responding to my messages, she was continuously thinking that she's not a desirable woman. And here, she is basically the queen of the harem, even though she has not slept with him, and even though she has still not gotten close to him, but there is a lot of energy dance also. We give energy to people also. We know that someone is smitten by us, or we know that someone is going all gaga over us, melting like a chocolate over us. So that there is energy exchanges happening still. But she wants to explore this side. She is very curious because she had been ignored so badly. She was so badly hurt that hurt in her had created a wound. But this wound was sort of a medicine which had to heal other wounds, because eventually this whole situation will give her a lot of clarity that the lack of self-image or the lack of self-love was actually coming from within her. It wasn't because of the divine masculine, really. The divine masculine was just mirroring her own wounds. So basically, then he approaches her, and then they go out, and then she feels like she's on top of all the ladies, all the gorgeous women who are hanging around him. Maybe he's trying to bring them in to run an event, or run a party, or or run a restaurant, or run an occasion, or whatever it is. But this is some kind of a social setup where there are too many people coming in and going out, and he has made her to be like, everyone is being introduced to her, everyone is talking to her, and he's basically standing with her. So even if a man has 10 women or 12 women, but who is he holding hands with, or who is he spending his personal time with? So there is even, there's a situation where there are many people in a room, and they're all chit-chatting, but he is only with her. He's finding out, do you want something? Do you need some food? Do you need this? So, and when they're sitting with other people also, then also he's sitting only next to her. And when he meets other people, like other women who probably are his sexual partners or something like that, or if not, they have been the sexual partner in the past. So she can see some kind of, that healthy jealousy also, that the girls are like, oh, so she's like this, this new chick who's here, and he is like so smitten by her, and they all give her the feeling that she is there to stay. She's there to stay because she's really nice. So she's also very talented. You can see the talents, you can see that if the man is congenial, she is no less. She can talk to people very easily. She can make friends very easily. All these qualities are always there in divine feminine, but when she goes in the low phase, that's when she's like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to anyone. And otherwise also, it's not important to talk to everyone, especially when you're working or you're busy. So she had to be a people pleaser also. So there are certain qualities which were there in her because At one point in time, she had to be like that for some reasons, and later on she started developing it better. So she's very easy to strike a conversation with, but now she chooses who to talk to. There was a time when she was giving out her energy to every Tom, Dick and Harry, by which I mean even men and women, not just men, but everyone, like some stupid ladies or some stupid aunties or some stupid relatives who are only negative, full of negative energy, negative vibes or negative statements. So now she's very careful of who to talk to and how much to talk to. And if she doesn't like anyone and she's not in a mood to talk to anyone, she's very busy, she doesn't have time, she'll straight away say, I don't have time for this. So that much, that type of confidence has gotten built up in her because of the inner work and because of the therapies. Now, I do want to talk about therapies here because a lot of you need to know that therapies are much needed. They are much needed in this journey because there are, like recently I saw one celebrity here in India. He spoke about how he was sexually abused as a child. And for many years, he did not know about it, but he had many broken relationships, even though he's a very talented man, very good looking man, very nice, very well behaved. And even the, people really like him a lot. And still he could not maintain his relationships with anyone. And so he decided to get into therapy. Only after getting into therapy, he realized that the therapist, brought it out that at a very young age, he was abandoned by his parents. At a very young age, he was sexually abused and there were these traumas because of which he developed a lot of fear. He would not trust people. And if he would trust people, he would probably trust the wrong people. When our wounds are not healed, when we still have work to do, we do attract people even then, but we don't attract the right people. We attract abusive people, we attract toxic people, we attract fake people who wear masks, who, have of one face for the world and one face for others, and they themselves have a lot going on. So then he spoke about it. It was after my therapy that I realized that I have to heal these wounds, and I have been working on myself since then. So that's when, I thought that I must share it with all of you all also, because some of you maybe cannot afford it because of your financial situations, or some of you feel that, maybe the therapist cannot help. Some of you think that the therapists don't know any better and I know much better. But whatever the case is, I would still tell you that you need to heal the wounds. The wounds are such that whether you go on a silent retreat for 20 days, for 10 days, you find some ways, is what my point is. Do something therapeutic, do something which releases your traumas and helps you go within. Do it with a coach or do it alone, but it is the main requirement, okay? So now she's understanding that the karmic, her karmic is giving her all of this affection, all of this love, all of this importance, and he is not even doing it like the DM was doing on the phone or on messages or just privately. He's publicly displaying this sort of affection. So she is very shocked and at the same time she's surprised, but somehow she's able to connect that last few months I have been working on myself so deeply, so intensely, that this is happening to me because of my inner self-image has improved, so this is happening. But then slowly and gradually she also realizes all the loopholes of hanging out with these type of people, because there's some alcohol, I can see there are some people who are doing drugs, then there is a lot of debauchery happening where so many people are, having hookups and one night stands, and even the karmic, she feels that, he has all these women around him who are probably, maybe they have their own committed relationships, but they are still hovering around him. So he is giving them something and he is also taking something from them. Now, what does he want from her? She realizes that he is definitely seeking some kind of validation from her, some kind of situation, where she's uplifting his image, just by hanging out like a trophy girlfriend or a trophy partner, or because they are not committed, obviously. So, it's like he is carrying her around because it's helping in his business, in his self-image. So she can actually see her own value also a lot. But then she has a choice over here. She can either continue to be with him, or she can continue to enjoy all of the perks that he is giving, or she also thinks that then I would also have to deal with all of these other loopholes that are hovering around him, because his energy is such that, or his work is such, or his lifestyle is such that he would live like this for a long time. He would be waking up whole nights, he would be sleeping throughout the day, he would be talking a lot of big talks, always blabbering, always talking, because he has to run a show, he has to do these things, he has to entertain people. And sometimes, she feels that she might also have to tolerate all the other girls who are around him, even if he makes her like the queen bee of this situation, or the queen ant of this whole, all the other ants. So she is smart enough to now rise up above the situation. And then she also feels very tired, because she's not used to so much noise and so much drinking, smoking, so many people around. So after a point, she also starts getting very bored of this whole fancy dress competition going on. She doesn't like that type of lifestyle. She's a person who loves solitude, and she's born hermit, born as a gifted person. So she wants the crowd, but she wants the right type of crowd. It's not like she doesn't like to talk to anybody, but she wants to talk to people who are similar to her, who are doing the same things, who are doing inner work, or who are more focused on the ascension, who are wanting to give back to the community. So here she feels that even though this guy is rich, he has got money, but he wants to take me out for shopping, he wants to present me all the materialistic things, all the fancy things, nothing, all superficial things, nothing soulful. And then comes the most important part, which is the intimacy part. So finally I am being shown a vision that both these karmic and this one they are alone, and the karmic obviously wants to get intimate with her, and they do get intimate, but not completely, but there is some intimacy, like holding hands is happening, or maybe they kiss each other, or maybe they snuggle up, or they cuddle, or it could even be more than that. So but I'm being shown that there is no completion in their situation, because she cannot do it. The moment she thinks of doing something with another person, her body, her soul, her hands, her nothing allows her, and she starts feeling very strange and very guilty. And the completion also is like one-sided completion. So she realizes that even if she wants to feel complete, she can feel complete by herself. She doesn't need a karmic, or she doesn't need him. And then she starts thinking about the masculine, her DM, who had blocked her, who had ignored her. She's like, I think I'm more attracted to him, because before the separation she also thought that I can deal with it, because I have so many things to do. I don't think I need this stupid arrogant guy who blocked me and who chose someone else or something like that. Or even if he didn't choose someone else, he just blocked me and he's living his own life happily, and what a douchebag, what an asshole, she was thinking like that. But when she met this karmic, she saw what a real douchebag is like. What an actual superficial fake man can be like, So then she realizes that her DM was much better. And when they had this fight, both of them were in this situation, or in a emotion, or in a feeling where both of them were like, didn't want to continue. So now she has very positive feelings for her. Suddenly all of that anger, that negativity, that pessimism, it is gone because of experience, because of what she saw and what she experienced. And then she also realized that she doesn't want to get intimate with anyone. It's better to be alone, because she's enjoying her own company. And if she's not enjoying her company, then how are all these bees attracting to her? All of these, you can say how moth gets attracted to the light. She also feels that all of these dark places, where a lot of parties happen, a lot of people are coming, drinking, having drugs, having all these scenes, flings, this, that. They need some kind of positive energy too. So when she's there, she sees people are hovering around her all the time. And, she feels like she's entertaining them, in some way, like either she's singing for them, either she's dancing with them, either she's saying, because divine feminines have so much positive energy. You all know that. All of you people who are in the twin flame ascension journey of so much positive energy to give to the planet. So she thinks that instead of giving my energy here, because it gets wasted, she feels exhausted, she's like up all night, she's dancing all night, or she's singing all night, or she's from one club to one party to another party to another party hopping and this and that. And then these people, they are they are up every day like that. And then the karmic, obviously it is his job to do this. He has to do this to run his business. So then she also realizes that he's not a very, how her masculine is, who thinks about other people, who has very straightforward behavior. Then she thinks that if he wasn't straightforward or if he wasn't genuine, then he would not have blocked her. He would have also created a harem. He would have also two-timed her or kept another option and kept her also, just like this karmic was doing. So seeing all these points in mind, keeping all these situations in her thoughts, she then releases all the negativity, and she makes a choice. She starts choosing, So I'm going to continue this part in part 3. And one love and peace out. And I'll see you soon in part 3.